Hello, welcome back to Kay's in the Garden. I'm Kay, and this is my garden. Hey guys, today we are going to do a part 2 to our garden maintenance. On the last video, I wasn't able to complete everything. It got dark really quick, and so today it is Saturday, and we're out in the garden. And as you can tell, it is full sun here in Katy, Texas. It feels like 80 degrees with the sun beaming down on you. It's probably really somewhere around maybe mid-70s. So we're going to go ahead and get started, and I will do my best to keep you guys out of the sun and try to eliminate a lot of the shadows. But bear with me. We are in Texas. We're going to start here in the main garden, where we are going to go from bed to bed. We're going to try to be removing some of the damaged leaves from the cold temperatures, and we will see if there's anything that needs to be harvested along the way. So let's get started in this back bed where we have the broccoli and cabbages. Okay, this bed was actually covered and didn't have very much damage, but I do want to clean up some of these leaves along the bottom of the cabbages. I shared with you guys this cabbage on the last video. I'm not quite sure what's going on. We're going to leave it and just see what happens. If it doesn't form an actual cabbage head, it's okay because we still can eat the greens. One of the good things about removing some of these dead leaves is that they attract slugs. So if you didn't know, slugs are the cleaners of decaying matter. So one of their jobs is to come along and eat decaying matter. So we don't want to provide a feast for them because we don't want slugs. Moving over to some of the broccoli, there's just a few that I think I want to pull. For example, this one. We talked about it not having any leaves on it, and it only had one, but if you notice, even since our garden tour, look at that. It's already starting to grow leaves. We still have garlic in this bed, so removing some of this will actually provide a little bit of sunlight to those garlic. If there's any leaves that actually look good to still eat, I will harvest some of those as well. Okay, let's move on to the next bed. Okay, on this Brussels sprout, I'm going to harvest some of the leaves here, making sure not to cut the Brussels sprouts. I was always told that it's good to cut the lower leaves off when you start seeing the Brussels sprouts forming because it allows the plant to put more nutrients in developing the Brussels sprout than growing the leaves. I always find it easier too if I just take the leaf and just do a little tug downward. It breaks off underneath the Brussels sprout and leaves a clean cut. I was also told that you can actually cut the head off the top of the Brussels sprout plant so that it would stop putting its energy into growing, but focus strictly on the Brussels sprouts. I don't like cutting the tops of my plants off. So if you've done that and it's worked for you, leave a comment. Let us know. Maybe I might try it. Just going to grab a few of these collard greens. You've harvested them recently, so it's not a lot on here. This was a leaf that was damaged during the frost. We said we were going to cut that off. I harvest a few of these kohlrabi leaves. This kohlrabi is not ready to be harvested, but it can share some of its greens. This kohlrabi is ready to be harvested, so we're just going to go ahead and cut it out. That's a really good kohlrabi with really nice greens. And this made it through the frost. This was covered. That's a good harvest. I was just looking, and this kohlrabi, I didn't pull it out. I left the stem and the roots. And it looks like it's trying to grow more kohlrabi. I just started some seeds with kohlrabi. Please don't tell me that all I have to do is leave the stalk in and get a whole new round. I'm going to come over to this broccoli bed. There's a lot of cleanup that needs to happen over here. A lot of these broccoli plants were damaged during the frost, and so we're going to go ahead and pull them up. I might not pull all of them up because I think there's a few in here that are still really good, but for the most part, there's no need to continue to let the plants pull nutrients from the soil, and it's really not producing anything. These two plants here in the front never really developed a head, so we're definitely going to leave these. We could probably get a nice spring harvest of broccoli. I really wanted to leave this one so that I can get seeds from the flowers, but it took a lot of damage. Okay, guys, I have to get help with this. Look how thick that stalk is. One of the things I thought about doing was keeping this stalk, because you can shave off or cut off the outside, peel it like you do a potato, and those are great broccoli sticks. Maybe with a little ringage, that would be delicious. I do save my labels. As you can see, that made it through the entire winter. Still saying early purple broccoli. I will use those again next year. Okay, so these two actually still look pretty good. I'm just going to pull some of these leaves off the bottom. Just so I can focus on maybe providing some more greenery. I don't expect to get a lot more broccoli from these, but the leaves are just as good to me. I will pressure can a lot of jars of greens. That way we can have fresh, well, somewhat fresh greens throughout the summer. I have to step inside to change sweaters and get some water and ask Alexa what was the temperature. Guys, what happened to spring? We went from winter in the low 20s to 80-degree summer already. Can somebody please just throw a little cool breezes down here from the north? We need it. It's already summer out here. Okay, guys, let's get back to this bed. All right, looks like we're finished with this bed. Okay, as far as the cabbages, they look really good. I just need to pull some of these leaves off the bottom. Sometimes I don't have a lot of leaves. Sometimes I'll just dig a trench or just bury those leaves right back into the soil. That's kind of my method of composting in place. There I see little small weeds growing. I will pull them out because if you keep them under control, it's less likely for you to have a bed full of weeds. And keep your eyes open because when you're cleaning up your garden, some of the pests will fall off and they look like the soil, so you can never really tell. Look at this onion here. That was planted pretty early. It's already starting to bulb up. I'm going to spoon and remove some of that soil around it and just let it keep bulbing up. The roots are still covered, so it'll be fine, but I just uncovered the bulb. Panning back to the entrance of the garden, it looks like we've taken care of both broccoli beds and the cauliflower in that bed. We've cleaned up the cauliflower in this bed. The onions are fine. In the back bed over here, we took care of the Brussels sprouts and the kohlrabi and the collard greens. In this front bed here, we took care of the cauliflower. So in the 6 main beds, we're all good. Let me zoom you in on the snapdragons. Now that I've cut them back, there's lots of new growth on all those plants. So hopefully this fall, this will have grown back and been nice and full. That looks so much better. As I've mentioned to you several times about this collard green and how pretty much the top of it is dead, look how resilient these plants are. It literally created another shoot here and here, and that's where I'm getting my growth from. So I'm going to leave that plant. I was going to cut it back, but I've decided not to. We're on the side of the house where we're going to take care of the Brussels sprouts. These plants are so dense that I'm just going to start here at the top till I can see. Just going to take the branch and push down and snap it right underneath the Brussels sprout. Once we're finished and you can get a better view, I'll bring you closer. If the leaves look great, I'll keep them. But if there's a lot of damage on them, I'm just going to compost them. It's probably time to go ahead and start fertilizing these. Well, everything really, not just the Brussels sprouts. So I'll do a good water today, and tomorrow Sunday, we'll run back out and just fertilize. When I'm harvesting to take in the house with me, I always look at the plants because at this point, you're always going to find some type of caterpillar or cocoon or something probably on some, especially if you see damage like that. So I won't bring that into the house. I'll actually compost it. And if the leaves just have holes in them, they're still fine to eat. I mean, a lot of times people throw those away and they're still good to eat. Okay, guys, let me bring you in a little bit closer to see what we've done. I'm pretty sure this bed is loving me right now. As you can see the bottom. You can even see, without me having to zoom in, the Brussels sprouts. We have a couple Brussels sprouts in the back. I'll probably just use those for the greens because it's a little late for them to start forming. There are Brussels sprouts on them, but I think it's going to be a little too late for them to start forming. It takes a really long time for Brussels sprouts. I was going to pull this one, but it actually has a cauliflower developing inside, so we're going to leave it. We do have some damaged leaves right here that I will pull. I missed those being on the other side. And next we're going to tackle this cabbage. Okay, the last thing we're going to do today is tackle this cabbage, which should be an easy cleanup. It's just pulling the outer leaves. Again, we left this cabbage to see what would happen. It started to form about 5 heads. And they're small, but I don't think they're going to close up. I just think they're going to form some nice greens. We're going to pull this cabbage. May have had some damage from the frost. It's leaning over. Some of the outer leaves are turning kind of pale. It's still good. I'll just have to pull some of those outer layers off. But that's still a nice firm cabbage head. As you can see through that crack there, there's some nice good. I'll just have to pull these back. See? Just damage on the outer leaves. Okay. We'll add that to our basket. We're going to go ahead and harvest this one too. Oops, guess I pulled up both of them. Compost this. Nice little single serving of cabbage, which is fine because in my family, I'm the only one who likes cabbage. As you can see, this soil is very dry, so we'll turn on the sprinklers tonight. We turned the sprinklers off during the freeze, and then it rained right after, so we really hadn't turned them back on. But this soil is very dry. And we have some weeds back over there, which I'll save for later. We've done quite a bit today. This side of the bed looks so much better. I still have to pull this plant, but it's pretty much the same process as what we've been doing with the others. It is a cauliflower, so the same what we did with the cauliflower bed. I want to thank you very much for sticking with me through part 1 and part 2 of maintenance around the garden. And remember, you don't have to do it all in one day. You can do a little bit each day. I wish you happy gardening, and if you haven't had an opportunity to like the video, please do so. And subscribe to the channel. Click the notification bell so that you are alerted whenever I upload a new video. Thank you very much for coming back. Have a great day.